Hi guys, welcome to Tech Talk Worldwide, our new group. Super excited of the focus and the vision that we have for our group. Hi Desiree, hello guys. Hi Liz, welcome to Tech Talk Worldwide. So excited that this group has networked with people like Liz Guild and Desiree and stuff, because you guys are amazing and such a great inspiration to so many techs. And once again, to have, not that we needed another new nail group, but once again to have a nail group that's based and focused on a vision for positivity and trust and sharing, and I absolutely love it. I'm so excited to see what we're going to do, and you can tell the feedback already has been so positive that people can understand our vision as well. Hi guys, welcome on. Setting my alarm at 6 a.m. Oh my gosh. So it's well, obviously you guys know it's 12:30 in the afternoon here. And so it's one of those blizzard days that's so cold that I'm a little shaky because it's that cold. Hi guys. Okay, so here's my pop-up today. Is a month ago I went live on New Year's. And so it was actually like New Year's Eve. I went live on these two nails. I went live in Nail Tech Network and I showed prep, acrylic fill, we talked about apex, we talked about everything on that. And then on these two nails, I went live in Nail Techs Helping Nail Techs. And this nail I did the genre technique, and this nail I did acrylic, and I showed prep all the way through the completion. And what I want to do live today is show you 4 weeks later the difference of the nails, which there's nothing. So then to have fun, my thumbs are the conversion base with acrylic sprinkled in, or they're slick pour sprinkled in. These two are Miss You 4D gel, and these two are my genre technique with my products. So I have a Mod Podge of nails, but I can tell you guys, they all held up exactly the same. So it kind of proves that if you have the right prep, it doesn't matter what product you're working with. If you can understand the ratio and how the products work, I don't think that there's one product that's bad. I really think they're all good. There's just a little bit different technique that you have to fine tune with each. But every single product, when it comes down to it, comes down to prep. Prep is the biggest. So I'm going to turn the camera around because I'm not in a dressed up mood today. It was too cold. And so anyways, and you don't want to see my face every time. So I'm going to go up close and show you guys my nails, and then I'm going to re-prep them because it's been a month and I'm kind of over all of this. I want a different color on. So I'm going to turn the camera around so I'll still be able to see your questions. Hi, Anita. And so ask questions if you have questions along the way, because that's what this is all about, is learning from each other. Okay. Let's get the lighting right. There's always so many technical things that we have to go through to make sure that this is a good video. Can you see? Okay. This one is the genre technique. This is using D&D base gel sprinkled in with C&T clear sheer blush pink. Okay, here's the side view as it's grown out. This one is C&D retention plus acrylic, and these two are C&D retention plus acrylic. So there's my 4-week grow out. Like I said, I did this live with you guys a month. These two are Young Nails conversion base mixed in with slick pour powder. Here's what I've learned, is it feels like it's softer than the D&D. And so play around with it. You guys have seen my lives and you see where I like to experiment, and I'll put them on a form and set them up and then take it off the form, and I can sit and bend the product, and then I can see how they break. I can see how hard it would be to kind of nip that off, which I've shown you guys my glass of when I did that, and it actually bonded to my glass, and now I have to get a new tabletop. But you can tell that it was softer. See how my shaping is? So you know how when you hold a file and it just naturally changes your shape, this product was softer, and it actually really was easier for it to change my shape, so it did not allow it to stay there. So it's a softer product, but here's the girl at the other hand. So these two are Miss You 4D gel, and I can tell you that was my very first time using it, no lifting. And these two are the D&D with the C&D powder. So I have a Mod Podge nails, but once again, it just shows that with the right prep and understanding your products, you can find what's best for your clients and works best for you. Okay, so the first thing in prep is to definitely get all the oil off. So at this point, and so I just washed my hands. You can tell they're all dry and gross now. But after you wash your hands and they come back to the table, you need to make sure that they still got all the soap off and they got, you know, any other, I always call it nacho cheese because I don't really want to know what it is underneath their nails, but make sure that they're clean. Then when they sit down at my table, you can take a cotton swab or a makeup wedge. In the beginning, because I throw this away, I'm using my cotton swab, and I'm using 100% acetone. And I'm going to go all the way up to the knuckle and all the way around and clean that to make sure there's no oil and there's nothing that's going to contaminate when I start to file. Hello guys. So it was so lit up with it was scrolling. So if I missed any questions, obviously I'll go back and answer after this is all done. But this is so fun. So on average, my clients go 4 weeks on their fills. I don't get any lifting. If I do, they usually have a pretty big story of what they did. And it's usually like, you know, making the bed or something like that. I wonder what statistics are of like the #1 repair. I kind of wonder if it's not making the bed. I tell my clients, I'm like, well, isn't that a sign to quit making your bed? Quit doing the laundry, quit doing the dishes. Okay, so as you clean that nail, you're going to notice that I get a little chalky white, and it also allows me to see the cuticle a little bit more. So for me, this is essential not only to clean, but it allows me to see exactly where I need to prep more. Looks kind of bad really up close, huh? Okay, so I showed you in the video, this is my cuticle bit that I normally do. However, I had received Max Estrada's bit, and you can tell it was a little bit bigger in sizing. I've played with this one a lot more this last month, and I love it. I love both of these, actually. I can get a little bit closer to the cuticle on this one, but Max's also helps take care a little bit more of that outer skin. So I've noticed that my finish work looks a lot better because this one's like, exfoliating more around the skin as well. Now I've used both of these on toes, and I really like this one for prepping on toes, which I have a workshop that I'm doing in a couple weeks. It's called All About the Toes, and it talks about using the prep of an efile on the toes as well. The second bit that I showed you guys was this coarse bit, and it's not a safety bit. This one's really good about really getting in and taking gel polish off, or taking debulking if you need, or taking length off of a longer nail. Obviously you would never use that on a natural nail. And then this is Max Estrada's other new safety bit that he has. And it took me a while to get used to this one because every time I use it on gel polish, which you guys know that everything I do is I do the application and then all my glitters, everything I do up in gel polish on top, so that when the client comes back in for their fill, I can just e-file it off quickly. I don't have to go all the way through my product and pretty much do a new set every time they come in. So I build all my coloring up on top. So this one I was having a hard time taking gel polish off because it actually gums it up. So I'm still getting used to this one, but I love it as part of the prep. So these are the 4 bits, and that's where I got them. And let's play with Max for a little bit this morning. Of course, I nicknamed these, and this one's definitely my Max. Okay, so I've put acetone on all of those and dehydrate them, which is just temporarily. And this allows me to go in and not get any oil on my bit. So I always start up from one side and work my way up to the other. It's almost like small circular motions, and you can just tell it easily pushes back the cuticle and lightly etches the nail all in one step. And like I said, this one's Max bit. It's a lot bigger, so I feel like it's also doing a little bit more extra care around the skin around it. So there's up close. So this, once again, is not the Russian manicure. I'm not pressing so hard that I'm going into the nail bed and creating a ring of fire. It's actually very light, and the speed of my efile is actually really low. It does not produce any heat spike to it. It actually feels so good. And of course, trying to do your own is always awkward. So there's really up close on those. This one will be a big difference here. I've learned if I do small circular motions, if I do just one time deep all the way across, I think I would probably create a ring of fire. But doing small circular ones, I just feel like I'm not going to harm anybody in any way. Like I said, it actually feels really, really good. So here, way up close. And make sure that to prep, we need to make sure that, like, a biggest area of prep is right here on people. It's where they start. And so sometimes we forget to pay extra attention to that. And so being able to use this cuticle one and go down the sides, it preps that all in one. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kelly. So small, circular, playing with our max bit. It just kind of melts all of that cuticle off. You look at all the powder that I have on my hand, and that's just from my cuticles. It's kind of gross, but you know what? As us nail techs, we kind of get like, we kind of think it's kind of cool. Okay, so with this bit, I can actually go in and prep the nail, so you can see that naturally when I run around the cuticle, it actually prepped it almost to where my grow out is. And so I've learned that with this bit, I can come down a little bit farther onto the product, and I can prep it that way as well. So this is a good bit to purchase. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to use Max's safety bit on this one, and I'm going to attempt to take off my gel polish to show you guys that one, but I'm still hooked on this one. You know, those creatures of habit, sometimes it's hard for us to change. Okay, so I did learn I have to use this one on a higher speed. Gosh, I'm doing my own, this is kind of hard. And once again, I come up on one side. And come across. I notice that when I use this one, it bounces a little bit more than my other one. And so there's a little bit more vibration to it. But you can see how it's taking off. So I have encapsulated pigment on my nail, and you can tell it just takes that right off. With no heat. So this is where we can help save a lot of time. Instead of filing the product completely off, this product's good, there's no lifting at all. So the best thing for us to do is shape in that apex using the product that's on there, so that when we do our new product, we're not having to build it all the way back out again. Get that off. So bring down your thickness, which you can tell this is a genre technique, so there's not much thickness to that at all. And leave my bulk where my apex would be. So if you watch the videos, which I've posted them in our events of all of our old prior videos, and they're called 2017 Tech Talks, and it's all the Tech Talks that we've done, or almost all of them, and a lot of the lives of us admin have done. And so you can go back and look at all the different techniques that we've done, and you can find my one from a month ago. So I'm just filing off the glitter and the color that I had encapsulated on the top. Pay attention to your sides. being that I've already prepped around the cuticle part, I don't have to re-prep that part again. I don't have to go over it with another file. This is the prep. So I've been able to prep these two really well just using these two bits. So if you don't have this bit, like look at this. There's no heat, it's smooth as can be, it doesn't cut anything. I'm in love with this bit. But I am used to my other one, so I'm going to show you that one as well. When you use, here's how so first of all, I learned my training on my efile from an orthodontist that I worked for. So people always say, where did you learn about efile? I'm like, I worked on an orthodontist and they taught me. So on teeth, instead of going this way and hitting the other teeth, or in the nail case, hitting the sidewalls, I use my drill this way. And so when you go up and down, you actually have a lighter pressure. Like when you write, we write hard, and this is that same positioning as when we write. So therefore, turn it to the side. It automatically, our weight comes up off of it a little bit, so you don't have to file as hard for that. So instead of going this way and the possibility of hurting the sides and pressing too hard, go this way, and you can take it off. I can definitely notice the difference between the two. The other one, I do feel like it kind of has more vibration to it. And this one, I can definitely tell it's just filing it off a little bit more like butter. Taper down my end. Keep my bulk where it needs to be so that I can keep an apex there. And take it down just a little bit more. I like more of a natural now. I don't really like a high apex on myself. There's that. Now, if you're doing it this way, there would be another part in the prep because obviously you're not going to go all the way down on the sidewall and you're not going to hit this area. It's like you're going to leave a ring all the way around there. So then you would come back again, either with your hand file or like the safety bit where you can get into the sides. And then you're going to go around and then finish up that prep. So I can say this bit's won me over, and you can tell that I was able to prep those two with just 2 bits. That means it's going to save me time. It's going to save me money because then I don't have to have all 3 bits. And that's the fun of playing around and trying new things. And I always say those rule of 3s, you know, people are like, oh, what product do you use? You know, what acrylic line do you like best? Well, I think it's what works best for you. I think all of the product lines are good. I think you need to order 3 companies, like their trial kits or some of their sample packs, and you need to try them out side by side and compare them. Okay, so look at the cuticle prep. If you get little nicks like this one, you can take your nippers and, you know, nip that off. Where I'm from, we're not supposed to do that. So if you can do the Russian manicure, obviously you would go into the other steps and fine tune that a little bit more. I've been able to keep my apex in, or my arch in, so this one I'm actually going to rebalance back just a little bit more. That one's not too bad, that one's good. And so then when I rebalance that, I don't have to turn around and worry about my apex again. I'm using my fill shaping to create my apex for the continuous timing. And that's where sometimes they call the names different, like a fill or a rebase or whatever. And in my case, I call them a rebalance because each time I'm rebalancing that nail. And then you can see the thickness. So by the time I fill these, they will be the thickness of that credit card, which I showed you guys in great detail a month ago on that. I just wanted to show you prep again and how far they grew out in a month and how all the products held up. They were really good. Now to do the other hand and figure out what color I really want to do. All right, so I'll answer any of your questions that you have, and I'll put in links where I purchased this stuff. And Sammy just made a post that all these promo codes that we've been getting, that we created a list for them, and they're open to all of our members to use. So go in there, if they're getting ready to make an order, go in there and find your a promo code and save yourself some money, because we all want to be profitable in this industry. And I thank you again for joining Tech Talk Worldwide. On Sunday, I'm going live with Carrie Lujeszki, who is an amazing, amazing educator. You might have met her recently this last weekend at the ISSE show. And then, guys, guess what? Next Thursday, Max Estrada is my guest. And we all know how fun he is, so I can't wait to be live with him as well. So thank you for taking this little bit of time, and here's my prep. Thank you so much.